Alright, chat. Mr. Beast uploaded. We funded a gym for. Bro, I can't even pronounce that, to be honest. I'm so retarded. Athletes.
We found a gym in Texas that trains people in the most unconventional ways.
Visualize the last time you wish you could
Easy.
wake up.
Wasn't expecting that.
Shelby Estacado.
Brandy Fields.
Neftali Mendoza.
Ryan Chen. This was in 2009 when I was 19 years old.
4 years ago.
Everything drastically changed.
I stepped on an IED and lost both my legs.
Bro. Would have clapped that up for him. Clap that up for him.
I suffered a AAA
All of them,
aortic
all of them.
aneurysm.
I had a snowboarding accident and I suffered a T6 spinal cord injury and broke my sternum.
Decided to go on the park run, hit one of the big jumps, and I couldn't see the landing. I landed on my back and shattered my spine.
My stepdad and I got into a verbal argument at a family gathering at my aunt's house. It got pretty heated. He had left, and maybe 2 hours later, my mother and I would get home and he'd be waiting for me. So as we got to the house, my mom entered and he got out of his seat and started coming towards the door. And all I heard was like, no, no, no. And then I heard a shot go off. From my perspective, I thought he shot my mom. As soon as I opened up the door, he shot me 3 times without hesitation. I was instantly paralyzed on impact, and I don't remember anything after that.
I can only imagine the
Bro. That's messed up.
devastating feeling as they
That's
realize
so
the
sad, though,
significant
as well.
impact this will have on the rest of their lives.
With the mindset that I was in, it struggles. It's hard going from like 21-year-old in shape war fighter to you wake up in a hospital and you can't even feed yourself.
My mindset was very negative. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I felt.
And I was crying and I was in pain from like the nerve pain that I had since my accident. I think rock bottom was really me.
Imagine
really
losing 2 legs.
debating whether I wanted to live
Arms.
this life, whether this was, you know, a life worth living.
I've been doing jiu-jitsu as an amputee. I was trying to move forward, and it wasn't until I had a really bad training day. It was so bad that I got back into the car, and I wanted to kill myself.
After my injury, I spent about 10 years still waking up every day. Like, today's gonna be the day I'm with myself.
I remember waking up in the ICU. It told me I'm paralyzed from the chest down.
But then something amazing happened. At a point that was undoubtedly one of the lowest of their lives. They decided to not give up, but to fight even harder and crush every goal in life despite the change in plans.
I immediately told them I'm gonna walk. And 6 days later, I had started moving my right big toe. And I remember my first steps were on July 11th. And they were assisted steps,
clap that up,
but
clap that up.
they were my first steps.
If I can go back in time and tell my 19-year-old self that I was gonna be okay, I wouldn't believe it, let alone the fact that, you know, I will be able to fly a plane one day, that I will start a company with my best friend and be able to make my parents so proud.
I started surrounding myself with people that told me what I didn't see myself.
I never want to feel that low and that helpless and that weak again. I had to stop feeling sorry for myself.
We talk about things that we can and cannot do. I don't believe there's anything that you can't do. You just have to find an adaptable way to do it.
Which is the reason for all these athletes' change in mindset. A gym called ATF. 10 years ago,
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot this was a Mr. Beast video.
ATF was founded by David Vorbora, a former NFL player who had a one-chance encounter that changed everything.
I wish I could tell you that, this was some formidable business plan, but it wasn't.
When he first started this, he had met Travis Mills, an amputee who got blown up and lost all 4 limbs.
I walked directly up to him without hesitation, full eye contact, and I said, "How much do you bench with that one arm?" And he said, "What did you just say to me?" He laughed, and he said, "Man, no one's ever really walked up to me and asked me that." I started with him, and then I had another veteran, and then 10, and then 20, and I think that was the catalyst for me to go, we can't stop doing this.
But how does someone like David quit a promising NFL career to pursue this instead? Well, the answer lies in the past. 16 years ago, David Vorbora was drafted into the NFL, and from early on, he was described as a ruthless gladiator. But what seemed to be the start of an illustrious career all came crashing down. After suffering a catastrophic shoulder injury, David was admitted to the hospital and got hooked on the painkillers he was given, becoming one of the 16 million people affected by the opioid crisis. And it was only after going to rehab and getting clean that he finally decided to stop playing pro football.
I've used quite a various amount of drugs in my life, and there's no drug that is like playing in American pro football. To make a tackle in the cathedral.
Injuries are the worst too, man.
There's just nothing like it.
Especially for
you just feel
athletes.
like more than a man. You feel so supreme and so powerful. That felt really good, but it was amnesic. It felt like I just have to go back to find my next fix. The difference in that and the way that I get to do what I do now is, you know, when that bell rings and I get to be right there and that person has that moment, there's this really cool kind of balance that gives me this like hit of nothing could be more important than exactly where I am right here, right now. But the difference is it doesn't wash off. I think that's the parallel is we're not gonna make this gym about changing the world for them. We wanted to change them for the world.
Suffice to say, we were really curious to learn more about Dave and the ATF athletes. So I sent Dan and Darren to Texas to see how Beast Philanthropy could help out. ATF is a free gym for people living with physical or traumatic impairments. And what's so unique about this place is a system they call
Sweat equity. We all sweat together and we all bond together through working out.
And this is what a workout looks like.
That's mad. That's pretty sick.
Let's go, push!
People with shared experience are best equipped to help their peers because they understand the challenges so much better. This shared experience and understanding has built an incredible community of athletes that are fully invested in helping every single person achieve their highest potential.
You ring the bell when you hit your personal PR or do something that you didn't think that you were able to do. That bell is a celebratory moment, and everybody just stops in the gym, and we're all just like, yeah.
This is such an important lesson to every one of us. Our own struggles and achievements may be the breakthrough that someone else desperately needs. Sometimes you will even find that helping others is the breakthrough you need for yourself.
I was presented with the opportunity to come to the Adaptive Training Foundation. It was life-changing.
With the workout almost finished, Brendy was attempting to set a new personal weightlifting record.
I was in my head a little bit, but I had to dig deep.
Oh, you almost had it!
So many people around me cheering for me, knowing I had that support. I was like, let me do anything I can.
She was paralyzed from the chest down as well. Pretty sick. That's crazy.
To get this weight off the ground.
Come on!
He's eight Chiefs. He's eight.
Each of these people made a decision not to give up, not to lose hope, but rather to get up and fight as hard as they could to be the best that they could under a new set of circumstances.
I did it, and it felt amazing. This is some stuff I never thought that I would be able to do. So lifting 220 pounds, you can't tell me nothing.
After seeing these incredible athletes at work,
That's
we
so
decided to
sick.
surprise Dave and the ATF gym with something special. For the surprise, Dan and Darren set up a little game.
Here are the rules. Come here. Each time you landed in my hands, I'm going to give you $50,000.
$50,000 if you catch it.
Each time you miss, you're going to give me $1,000.
How far back do I need
He's
to go?
eight.
From wherever you want to do it. 50 grand.
Easy.
For the last throw, David entrusted Dan to bring it home, but Darren had a twist.
If Dan blows it, you get nothing.
Can Dan handle the pressure? It all comes down to this.
Easy.
But before we see if Dave raises $250,000 for ATF, I want to give a massive shout out to our partner Stand Together. Stand Together has been supporting this incredible program for a while, and when they realized we were working with other belief shown the video.
That's what you got.
You serious?
I'll round it up for you, though.
Nice, nice. Cut that up, cut that up.
There's a saying that I love, that the character is like steel and has to be forged in fire. Several of the people that we have talked to have talked about the fact that they would not go back and undo the injury or the accident that they had. And that is tremendous. That is one of the most inspiring things that gave me goosebumps each time I heard it.
Everything in the universe happens for a reason. If I had never stepped on that bomb, I never would have been able to see, one, what I was truly made of, but also how I could help the world in a more
Best way to look at it.
way.
After going through my injury and being where I am now and having the perspective I have on the world, I feel like I'm a stronger person than I ever could have been.
It was only through these people's trauma that they discovered their true inner strength to meet life's biggest challenges head on and never ever quit. This is a lesson for every one of us with whatever challenges we face that feels so overwhelming to us. Don't give up and you will surprise yourself with your own inner strength. Dave wants to build a brand new $20 million center where he can not only train more athletes and help them be their best, but also train more adaptive athlete coaches to take this amazing program back to their communities. So please click the donate button or the link in the description to help make this a reality.
It's crazy. That's so sick. That's so good to see. Everyone, especially even if you're going through like mental health issues, just go to the gym, man, or like just bro, go for a walk, you know? Yeah, but bro, this is sick. This is pretty sick. Love your video. Clap that up. Clap that up.